and welcome to the Divorce Women's Guide podcast, where we talk about the things us divorcees are thinking, but not always talking about, as we turn our divorce into the best gift we've ever been given. And I do so with a little bit of sass and a whole lot of class. I am your host, Wendy Sterling, founder of the Divorce Rehab. I am here to support you in this transition phase of your life so you can start your new best chapter on your own terms. After all, that's what I did after my own divorce. And now it is my mission to change the conversation around divorce and help you see why your divorce, like mine, was the best gift you ever received. Hello and welcome to today's episode. I am so happy that you are here. There are so many of us that go through divorce, and so many of us even that are on the other side where we still have setbacks. And sometimes people refer to setbacks as triggers. I personally like the phrase setback to push forward. Setbacks are usually relatively minor. I like to call them almost like little bumps in the road, almost like a hiccup, because in fact, they don't necessarily stop us completely. They just try to slow us down. And as many of you are experiencing or know from experience, healing from divorce is definitely not linear, and you relive so many different setbacks from your marriage as you're in the healing process. And while you're going through the healing process, setbacks are inevitable, you guys. And yes, I agree and know from experience that they can definitely be very challenging. And any way you slice it, divorce just isn't like a slice of cake, and there's going to be setbacks. That is just part of the process. You're not alone. And so many of us just wonder and we ask ourselves, when is it going to take a back seat to our life? Why do they keep popping up? I don't know about you, but when I have setbacks, it typically comes in waves, and I know that it's different for each one of us, but it's definitely unpredictable, and a lot of times we don't see them coming. And while it's hard to swallow, it does help to understand what it is that's coming up so that you can better prepare for them moving forward. And one of the key things to remember is that it's not going to last forever. You also can't force it to go away, right? No more than you could force your marriage actually working out. And as I say all the time, healing from divorce takes time. It takes so much time. And yet we expect so much of ourselves when, in fact, if anything, when you're in this place of going through divorce, you deserve more patience, okay? You should have fewer expectations of yourself and a heck of a lot more self-compassion and grace. And some moments, I remember and, even still experience that you feel really disoriented and you crave that feeling of normal again, right? And other times you're really scared and worried and unsure of what the future holds. And so many of us are so exhausted, right? Unable to sleep, wondering how it is that we're going to get everything done that needs to get done. And then it brings up anxiety because everything and everyone seems to need more of you. And when you crash at the end of the day, you've got nothing left. And in the end, you might even wonder if you're still sane or if you're ever going to feel right again. And I get it, you guys, because I've been exactly where you are. You see, when my marriage ended, I struggled with those exact same feelings. I had no idea when things would get better and what it would take for me and my life to feel what I called normal again. And now, being on the other side of divorce, I can confidently tell you that you will start to get past this. There will be a time in the not so distant future when you will start to see a glimpse of hope that you will be happy again. And I know because I've done it myself, and I help so many other women do it too. And I can help you. You see, the truth is that recovering from divorce is laced with so many different sets of feelings and experiences, and also repercussions. And all of these act as setbacks to help us to reclaim our energy and our life. Now, some are big, right? And others are really microscopic. But regardless, each one impacts our recovery process and how we ultimately feel about ourselves. So, why does this matter? Well, because as you imagine your future, there will be a moment in your life when you're ready to create and embrace and design your new normal. Maybe even a moment when you're ready for love again. A time when you say to yourself, I have forgiven myself. And maybe at some point, even your ex. And I want to fully live my life again. I know that sometimes it's hard to see that day. I do. And I want that day to come for you. But in order to recover from your divorce, you've got to work through the ending of this relationship along with all of the unexpected experiences and repercussions. You see, because it's through the process of tackling each bit of your divorce head on that will help you recover from it and fully be able to embrace your life again. You have to identify and deal with all the pain and poison of your divorce to get that energy of your life back. And you can do this in one of two ways. You can hope that you'll get better, or you can actually start by taking action. Well, what do I mean by that? So, for some people, they hope that in time things may get better, and they hope that the anguish they're experiencing will just fade away. Well, the anguish may fade, but it's usually replaced by a permanent bitterness that sucks all of your energy and eats away at your soul for a really long time. And that doesn't serve you. It's only pain for you. And the other choice is you can take action and actually get rid of those traces of bitterness and anguish. I personally think that way is a hell of a lot healthier. That way is actually more normal and natural and quicker to reclaim your energy in life because you address each nuance of your divorce as it comes up. So think about how you typically respond to these different types of obstacles. What's your normal reaction? Well, a normal response to a setback, a roadblock, or defeat from a setback is anger, frustration, sadness, or fear about what lies ahead. And while all these responses all are quote unquote normal, if this is how you react, you're actually hurting yourself. Now, it's understandable to feel frustrated and sad and angry and scared of these types of quote unquote normal responses. And it does present an issue, actually, a big one. See, none of these negative reactions, feelings, or responses will help you get to wherever it is that you want to go. I know you think they will, but they won't. None of these negative reactions, feelings, or responses will actually help you. Worse, they will even stop you dead in your tracks.
Hey, it's Wendy. I wanted to take a quick break from the conversation to say thank you for listening and to also share something really exciting that I am launching on June 9th. So, I am putting together another free online summit called Beyond Divorce: Discover the Secrets to Disconnect, Set Boundaries, and Move Forward. So, if you're somebody who's thinking about, or perhaps you're in the process of divorce, or even on the other side, and you're feeling stuck because the courts are closed and you think that you can't move forward, well, I'm here to tell you that that is just not true. The goal of this summit is to support you and to help you navigate the emotional side that you are currently struggling with. I'm interviewing over 33 experts about how to support your kids, how to set boundaries, co-parenting with a narcissist, how to practice self-compassion, how to be financially independent, conscious co-parenting, how to stay healthy, and so much more. I have had so many aha moments during all of these interviews, and I just know you will too. Oh, and by the way, each expert is providing a free gift just for you. So please visit beyonddivorcesummit.com to register for free. And now let's jump back into the conversation.
Now, here's a truth bomb, guys. Setbacks happen to everyone, even really successful people who have healed from divorce. Yes, I'm one of those people as well. We tend to look for inspiration in other people's lives or with people who have faced their fair share of setbacks before. And the point is that you too can overcome this. You are no different from anybody else. And you can even find yourself in a better place. All you have to do is use the right tools. And there's no straight lines, you guys. Overcoming struggles, it goes up, it goes down, it goes side to side, sideways. It's a roller coaster. But guess what? You need to go through the peaks and the valleys in order to keep moving forward. See, I believe that the ups remind you where it is that you want to go, and the downs push you to get there. And over time, the ups continue to get higher. And guess what? The lows don't get quite as low. So, in other words, as long as you keep moving forward, overcome any obstacles that come into your way and see them as detours, you'll improve in the long run. Now, you might be saying to yourself right about now, that's great, Wendy, but how am I supposed to get over everything that's happened to me? Well, anytime you want to succeed, don't you come up with a plan? So that's what you get to do is create a plan. And the plan must include proven and effective strategies that will actually get you somewhere. And I'm going to share 5 of them with you right now to help you start overcoming your setbacks so you can be on your path to the other side. So, number 1, give yourself time. You need to experience the peaks and the valleys, right? I said that to keep moving forward. The ups remind you of where you want to go, the downs push you to get there. And one of the first things you want to do is to give yourself time to process what happened. Your mind gets to absorb everything and fully realize where it is that you are. Well, how much time should you take? Whatever amount of time you choose. Just make sure that you stick to it. Sometimes I set a timer and allow myself 10 minutes. And then when the clock is up, I move through it. And what that does is it helps me to come to terms with what's happened. And then I get to figure out how to proceed from there. And whatever you do, here's number 2, don't panic. Yes, give yourself time to adjust, but don't panic about it because it's not going to help the situation. And actually, it's likely going to hurt you more than anything else because you just might be doing something that you will regret. And many times, those things you do that you regret come in the form of communication with your ex. You will regret it, you guys, I promise. So, number 3 is to make peace with your failures. So, this is where you must learn to come to terms with and accept failure that your marriage ended. So, it doesn't keep you from reaching your potential, right? In other words, realize that the situation is what it is, and you get to accept it and choose to move on. More importantly, is that how you want to live the rest of your life? Not doing all the things you are fully capable of doing because you just decided to give up? Well, I know that's not the case. So while you can't change your marriage ending, you can choose to feel through and deal with it. And you get to move forward while you do that. Number 4 is to cut yourself some slack, but don't let go of the rope. So while you can't change what's been done, you can still choose to deal with it and you'll get to move forward as you do. Think about how we give other people permission, right? We cut other people's slack so much more easily than we do ourselves. Well, when you're dealing with a divorce, this is the time where you get to cut yourself some slack. It hurts, you guys, and you get to loosen your grip on the rope. Our initial reaction typically is to grab it tighter, and that's not going to serve you. It will not serve you moving forward. It keeps you stuck. And number 5 is you get to regain control. So consider the actions that you can take to help you overcome whatever setback appears. Think about the things that you can do that are actually within your control, and you'll actually feel less out of control about the situation at hand. And your recovery gets to be the focus instead of what I call the disease of your divorce and its fallout. And the simple answer is this, you guys: when you begin planning for your comeback, remember you only have control over 3 things in your life, okay? Your own thoughts, your own behaviors, and your own reactions. I'm going to say that again. You only have control over 3 things in your life: your own thoughts, your own behaviors, and your own reactions. And while it may not seem like much, that's actually your entire life. And that is a ton of power if you choose to focus your thoughts and energy in that direction. You don't have control over the setbacks your ex or others put in your path. But think how amazing it would be to plan a bigger and better comeback. Come back to what? Well, you may wonder after a long series of setbacks what you're coming back to. Well, here's a few. You're going to come back to your passion. You get to come back to your dignity. You get to come back to your purpose. You get to come back to owning your life. You get to come back to the dreams and plans you put on hold. You get to come back to your joy. When you divorce, yes, there's pain and regret. We all feel it. But there's also the possibility of beginning a new and better life for you on your terms. You have the opportunity now to define those rules and build new relationships with better boundaries. I mean, think about it, you guys. There's so many different sports teams or individual athletes who endured failure after failure and then went on to win the World Series or a gold medal. I mean, my goodness, think about the Red Sox. They went so many generations without a big win, and then all of a sudden won 2 World Series. So when life knocks you down, get back up, right? Brene talks about this in her books, right? When you get knocked down in the arena, it's about getting back up. So when life knocks you down again, get back up again, because I promise you that comeback is always stronger than the setback. Thank you so much for tuning in today. I loved spending this time with you, and I'll see you guys next time. Sending you lots of love, light, and joy. Mwah. Thanks for tuning in to another episode of the Divorced Woman's Guide podcast. If you like what you hear, please share this episode with someone you know or spread the word on social media. This is how I reach more divorcees around the world and provide them with the support they need to create their next best life. And I would also love to continue the conversation with you. So please friend me on Facebook, join my private Facebook group, The Divorce Rehab, and follow me on Instagram at Divorce Rehab with Wendy. I'll see you next time.